Hi, welcome to the Infinite Light channel. I'm Gabby, and I'm so happy to have you here. I think we are in very exciting times, very expansive times. Things are moving rapidly, there are a lot of energetic shifts. So, depending on when you're listening to this, it's always the perfect timing, it's always a divine timing. The more I go through my own journey, I realize and I see so clearly that everything is so divinely guided and so divinely planned when you surrender to that, and when you're open for the nudges and the synchronicities and the way that your higher self, the universe, is guiding you. When you decide to listen to that, it's quite incredible. And I am amazed. I am amazed every day, um, for the level of synchronicities and messages and the way that I'm being guided. It's almost like these little breadcrumbs that are showing me the trail on this journey of walking into the unknown, because that is really where I am. And I think if you are resonating with this, you are also on a journey into the unknown, expanding more and more into who you really are. And what I wanted to reflect on, because I was speaking to a good friend yesterday, and she she's in a place, and I can recognize this so much, like she doesn't fully know what she wants to do, and I think her soul is calling her, but her mind tries to figure it out, and every time that happens, it becomes a stress more than something expansive. So she was explaining how, yeah, she makes herself really busy and she doesn't have much time, and then if she has a little bit of time, she just throws herself into some some project. And I think, and then there was this feeling of, I should be meditating, or I should be doing this, or I should do my spiritual practices. And I think that is the first thing to recognize, that there are no shoulds. The shoulds are the shoulds are something that our ego produces. It's a product of our ego. Everything that we should be doing and that we are labeling as good or bad, or this is the right way to do it. If I do this, I'm spiritual. If I do that, I'm not. And in the end, I think we are overcomplicating it. What happens if you just surrender? What happens if we just feel into the here and now? We take a little breath, we just stop, we sit down, or we take a little walk, or we make ourselves a nice cup of tea, and just feel into, where am I today? What am I longing for? What would feel good? And instead of forcing it, and instead of having to figure it out and having a plan and knowing I want to do this, but then the mind goes into this whole planning mode, and okay, but if I want to do this, what does that mean, and how can I get there, and what do I need to do? And then it just feels overwhelming. And then maybe there is an old programming that is kicking in, and then you just feel completely blocked. But the block is only in the ego mind, the analytical mind, trying to figure it out. That when you want to live life, an expansive life, when you want to live in flow, being guided by your inner compass, your heart. So when you want to step into living heart-based consciousness, what that really means is letting go of the idea that your mind can figure it out, and more feel into, what feels like the next best step. And then the thoughts, the ideas will come, and it's those small things. It can be those small steps. um, for me, I mean, this journey has been, it has been a longer journey. So it's not, well, it's 2 years ago that I realized that I wanted to do something more than being in the corporate world and being a supply chain professional. So I was tapping into my my desires, what was really what I was passionate about, and I realized I was passionate about helping people. So I realized I wanted to move into coaching, and that led me on a whole journey of discovering myself, studying the mind, but then it led to this whole spiritual awakening as well, realizing that there is so much more to me and to this life that I would have ever been able to fathom, and there was no way that my mind could have figured out this journey that I've been on. And it's not been a straight line, I can tell you. It's not been a straight line, but it has been a wonderful, beautiful, exciting journey. And this journey is just continuing, and that is why I love being here, showing up here. This is also so far beyond what I could have imagined I would be doing. I was listening to people saying that they decided to show up on YouTube, and just yeah, a couple of months ago, for me that was still unimaginable. But then things happened, and I opened up more. And then I realized that one of the things I really want to do, and what I'm extremely passionate about, is to bring this out to the world. And of course, also the channeling that felt so private, so sacred, and so intimate. I started to realize that that is not just for me, that is meant for many more, because in the end we are connected, and whoever I am reaching out to, or who I'm meeting through this camera lens, is a part of my journey, or we are a part of each other's soul journey. And the reason that we are connecting is because we share something on our soul journey, on this blueprint of our souls. And it's all meant to be, it's all meant to happen. We are here to mirror each other, to ignite each other in different ways. And of course, it doesn't have to be showing up on YouTube. There are so many ways, and I'm sure that you have your gifts, your talents that you want to bring out to the world, the things that really lights your heart up. And if you don't know exactly what shape and form that needs to have, I really want to encourage you to not feel discouraged about that, because the way will show itself. And that is the magic of letting your heart and that inner compass that is connected to everything that is lead and guide the way. Because when you start taking those small steps that feel good, that ignite you, that expand you, that lights you up, the universe, source, your higher self will keep showing you the way forward. And this road into the unknown, your path, it will kind of light up. So imagine this wonderful little trail, and it will be lighting up like these golden little sparks when you surrender and you let go, and you realize that you don't have to figure it out, that walking into the unknown is the most courageous act of surrendering that you can ever do. And that act of surrendering is always happening in the now moment, in this now moment, and in this now moment. and you have a blank slate. In principle, you have a blank slate in every moment, but perhaps it feels easier to think that, well, tomorrow morning when I wake up, I have a blank slate. What is the vibration? What is the energy I want to put myself into? Where do I want to move to? What do I want to do? And perhaps at this moment in time, you are finding yourself in a job that maybe you don't love, or you do love it, but there is something more that you want. So, how can you uh, expand in those small moments? And listening to this is one way of expanding, because every time you listen to the channel messages, especially, maybe there is something that I'm saying that will ignite a spark inside of you. But I hope that what the team is bringing through, what the Infinite Light team is bringing through in regards to words, but most of all the frequency and vibration through the words, is one act of moving into your expansion of unlocking aspects of you that are waiting to be unlocked and that are waiting to come out. So I think that is what I really want to bring through today. I want to bring through so much encouragement. I want to bring through to you that the journey of stepping into the unknown is the most magical, wonderful, beautiful thing that you can ever embark on. And that happens in the now moment. So you can choose that now. So, with that said, I'm handing over to the Infinite Light team, to this channel message. I'm so grateful to have you here. I'm so grateful of being part of this co-creation. It is truly beautiful and magical, and you mean so much to me. So, sending you so much love, and see you on the other side. Yes, yes, welcome, welcome, dear soul. We are delighted to speak to you on this day. Whenever you are finding this, it is the perfect day. It is the perfect day, and it's the perfect time. And you are exactly where you are meant to be right now. It is always perfect. It is always divinely planned. And your journey, your life's journey is truly unique. Your human journey and the awakening of your soul and the expansion into everything that you are is happening exactly as it's meant to. And the more you are surrendering into that knowing, relaxing into that, the comfort of knowing that you are not alone, that you are always guided by your inner being, by your inner light, by your higher self, that is the most powerful thing you can step into. And it is a journey, and it is a shift. And at this moment in time, earth is expanding, the frequencies are raising, and that is why there is a lot of there is a lot of the old that needs to fall off. And if you are here, if you are resonating with this, if you feel into your heart, into your soul that this is the truth, you feel into this truth, you will also be noticing that there will be old beliefs, old paradigms, old ways of thinking, of being, and of operating on your human journey that will be coming up to the surface. So in every area where you are holding yourself back, where you are operating on old belief systems and old paradigms that are restricting you and holding you back from your greatest potential, they will be coming up to the surface in order to show you where you are holding yourself back and what you need to embrace in order to move forward. And this can feel very, it can sometimes feel like a rough ride. It can feel like you are going through this roller coaster ride, and one day everything is perfect and you feel so uplifted, you feel so energized, and then the next day you are suddenly waking up and you have these emotions of fear or doubt or worry, and maybe you don't even fully know where they are coming from. But know this, that when they are surfacing, it means that you are expanding and evolving, because whatever is too dense cannot come with you to that next level. But it will be feeling, for you, it may be feeling like you're moving back, like you're moving backwards, like you're not really moving forwards. But that is not the truth. However, life as you experience it will never be linear. And you have most likely seen these drawings of how you as human beings often imagine the way to reach your goals. It's like, I'm here and I'm going to here, and it's a straight line. That's how you see it. And then your mind tries to figure out the actions that you need to take, and you try to plan it all out. However, in reality, it will never be that straight line. And depending on what your goal is, what your vision is, your goal, your vision is always on a frequency, or and a level of consciousness, you could say. So depending on how expanded that is, if this is about you stepping into your highest potential, living your dream, that is on a different frequency, that is on a different, it's a different version of you. But that version always exists because everything is in the here and now. So that version of you already exists, and you can tap into that version of you. But if you have things, beliefs, old programs, limitations, thought patterns, etc., that are holding you back, when you have this intention of leveling up, of becoming this new version of you, you will be shown everything that you cannot bring with you into this next level. So think of your journey as more of a spiral. And this spiral, because if you are listening to this, if you are tapping into this, if you are resonating with this frequency, and if you're resonating with this channel, with Gabby, you are on a similar journey, because that is how you connect. You connect through your soul's blueprints. And that journey is a journey of expansion, of realization. You are moving into the highest version of you. You are expanding towards your highest timeline. But that journey will not be linear. It will be more of this kind of spiral where you feel like you're moving forward. So that was what we were speaking about with the roller coaster. You feel like you're on top, so you're moving forward and you're expanding and it feels great. But then whatever cannot fully be there needs to be released. So then you are circling back, but you are still on a higher level. And everything that cannot come with you when you are kind of moving back will need to show itself. So that will surface to the level so that you can see it, you can embrace it, and you can give it all the love you need. You can bring it to the light to dissolve the density. And that is what quantum shifting and quantum jumping is all about. So everything will come up, it will surface, because it's all energy, it's all energy. So the emotions that you feel are energetic imprints, energetic blockages that are present inside of you, and they will reveal themselves. That when you feel them and you bring them up to the light without any resistance, and you just let them show you as well what the old story is about, because that feeling is most likely linked to an old story. Maybe it's a story of not being fully worthy, or that being successful or living a life in a way that is successful or that is viewed as good um, requires a lot of hard work. So perhaps through your expansion, you are moving into more creativity, more flow, more playfulness. But there is an old programming inside of you saying that that is not good enough. You are not worthy unless you are struggling and striving and efforting and working hard. It's not meant to be easy. That could, for example, be an old program, which is so that is so common, and that is something that Gabby is also going through, because there are old programmings and limiting beliefs around the way that she was supposed to be, being that good girl, doing the right things, and working hard for achieving the success that she was meant to have. But now, during this journey of awakening and awakening to the truth of who you really are, you will realize that those old programmings, those old beliefs are not true to you anymore. That is not your inner truth, what you really long for, what you really want to experience on your life's journey. Because your life's journey is meant to be so incredibly expansive and beautiful and joyful and really, really adventurous. That is what you signed up for. If you are here, that is what you signed up for. And we are bringing this through, and we are using Gabby to bring this through to you, to awaken inside of you the remembrance of the truth of who you really are and why you came here, and how beautiful and expansive your life can be when you start to fully choose you, and when you have the courage to face anything that comes up, and you don't run from it. You don't run from it. And just catch yourself whenever you realize that you're running from it. Perhaps you're numbing and running in different ways. There are so many ways on this human journey that you can run from yourself or numb yourself, keeping yourself busy, not really taking that time to really feel in to you. And it might feel scary at first, but when you start doing this, you will realize that it wasn't so scary. It wasn't scary at all, because when you let your internal, you are an alchemist. You are an alchemist. And your heart and all the love, the light that you can stream into your own being, when you connect to the fuller sense of who you are. So when you connect to your heart, when you connect to your inner being, you're also connecting to the energy that can stream through you. And that energy is the energy of alchemy. So when you have the courage to let the fears, let the worries, just meet them and see them and embrace them with love. And you can do this by sitting in meditation. You can sit with yourself, you can just feel into it, you can imagine the situation that is triggering you, and you can go into that, and then you can be very curious and very open and just ask yourself loudly or just inside your head, what does it want to show you? What does this fear, this story want to show you? Because most likely it is linked, it is a trigger point for some old pattern, some old belief or programming. And when you can then see that, embrace that, and bring that into your loving presence of your own heart and all the energy, you can alchemize this feeling, and you can really become your own alchemist. And you can quickly, when you start practicing this, you can transfer from one emotion to the other. And that will mean that, coming back to this metaphor of the spiral, you will quickly be spiraling back forward again and feeling like, wow, now I'm moving forward again. And the truth is that you're not just moving forward, you're also elevating. So you are then on an other level, on a more elevated level of frequency, of consciousness and vibration. And that is the key to this game of life that you're playing. It is all about consciousness and vibration. So anytime you expand, when you become more conscious of yourself and you start to see these things, you raise your consciousness, but you are also moving up in frequency and vibration. And that is the way that you become the magician of your own life's creation and reality. And that is the way that you can then start to really move energy, and consciousness is in the end what will materialize your reality. So when you become this magician and you realize that everything you need and all the magic, all the tools, all the alchemy is something that you have inside of you and that you can access by connecting more to you, you'll be able to expand, to elevate in ways that it's difficult to put words into, but it will be truly, truly magical, truly magical. And this is how you can create a life full of miracles, magic, a life beyond your wildest dreams, where you are being you. You are being the truth of you. You're being you to the fullest. And everything that is not meant to be with you on that journey will gradually be falling off. That is a journey, and that is something that happens gradually. And then you can do these huge shifts when you really do these things, when you embrace them. Because probably if you're looking back to life that you have been living, and before you started to wake up to the truth of who you are and realizing that life is a game of energy, You probably had all these coping mechanisms when life got hard. Perhaps you pushed harder, perhaps you numbed yourself in different ways. It can be through through whatever. It can be through substances, it can be through excessive training, pushing your body, it can be through um, binge watching movies or whatever it is, just to run from yourself. And that was working in many ways for some time, but something made it come to a stop. Something woke you up, realizing that if I continue this, I am not I'm not creating a life that I love. I'm holding myself back. And there will be these feelings of dissonance, disharmony, and perhaps it manifests as some kind of disease or anxiety or depression or stress. Something inside of you is telling you that this is not living in alignment. This is not how you can live in alignment. And where you are now, you know these things, and you are in a place where you can expand into a life that is so wonderful, so beautiful, and so expansive. And it can shift so quickly. And that is how you can feel like you're not the same person that you were last week or last month or 3 months ago. Or maybe if you look back to who you were a year ago, so many things have shifted. And we also want you to take that time of reflection, to be so incredibly proud of yourself, to be so loving to yourself for going through this journey. Because when you go through this journey of awakening, it is about taking those steps into the unknown. Because if you want to create a life beyond your wildest dreams, it is just that. It is beyond. It is beyond where you have been before. It's beyond. Perhaps you've been there in your dreams, and we encourage you to be there in your dreams, because if you can dream it, it means that you can experience it. Otherwise, your soul, your higher self, would never put that dream in your heart or in your mind if you wouldn't be able to experience it. Then maybe it will turn out slightly different. Maybe it will turn out even better, even grander, because there are no limitations. There are no limitations of what you can create. You are the creator of your own reality. And that is what we want to bring through today, that you are the creator. And when you are moving through these shifts, and you may feel like you are moving backwards instead of forwards, we want to tell you that is not true. Whenever you are finding yourself in a place of resistance, in a place of, let's say, negative emotions coming up, that is showing you that you are expanding. That is showing you that there are things that you need to let go of to be able to step into that even next level, and then into the next level. So it is a sign of expansion. So feel into that, knowing that it is a sign of expansion. It is not a sign of you moving backwards. It's a sign that you're really moving forwards, you're really moving upwards, and you are leveling up to the next version of you. And then you can keep leveling up to the next version and to the next version. And sometimes you can do these big jumps when the bigger the resistance is, the more intense the emotions are. That means that there is something really profound in your old programming that needs to be released. And when you release that, when you can move through that kind of density, that is when you can truly make a bigger jump, a bigger timeline jump into a whole new version of you that is no longer carrying this programming. And when you do, you will also realize that that programming, that limiting belief, was always an illusion. It was just creating this prison inside your mind, holding you back. But the whole time, the prison door was open. There was never any lock. You could just open up the door and walk out. And when you start doing this consistently for the resistance that comes to you, whether it's smaller or it's these bigger things that come up to the surface, every time you realize that you have the key, there was never, the door was never locked, you can walk through that door. It is like walking through these doors and into your next life, and you open the doors. And when you do this consistently, you will also show your ego mind, your ego consciousness, that it is safe to expand, that it is safe to walk through that door into the unknown. And then you can open the next door into the unknown, because the life that you're longing for will be residing in the unknown. Just feel into that. Feel into the knowing that everything that you're dreaming of, the life that you desire, is just beyond that open door, and you can open it up. You can open it up. You have the key. You have the alchemy inside of you to open it up. This is the message that we want to bring through to you today, because we know, and depending on when you're listening to this, but at this time and space, there are a lot of things coming up to the surface, and that is both on a collective way. So there are a lot of things coming up to the surface when it comes to society, when it comes to the world at large, because these things cannot stay when we are moving upwards. So there is this intense up-leveling of consciousness on a global level, but this is also happening on an individual level. And you have the tools you need to move yourself through these doors of expansion and creating a life for you that is beautiful. There is so much love available for you. There is so much love available, and you have the access to that infinite love through the portal of your own heart, of your own inner being. And if you are here, if you're resonating with this, you have access to that. And by listening to this, by tuning into these words, but also the frequencies that we send through, we help you to open up to that access even more. You are so loved. You are so guided, protected. You are a being of light. You are a being of light playing this game on earth at this time and space. Thank you. Thank you so much. We love you. Thank you. If you are still here, thank you so much. Thank you. I believe that was a powerful message. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your presence, your energy, this co-creation. I'm so grateful. And if you enjoy this, please subscribe and share your thoughts or comments. I really love that. I love connecting with you. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Thank you so much.